Oh, yeah. It's a Monday night. Let me get myself together here, man. We get money. That's JR Ryder, 40 Cal Riders Block 3. We getting money over here. That's how I feel. Just for me and my nobody drinks. Look, fam, that's the truth. Have the whole club sipping cranberry juice. Oh man, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's Monday night. This is a new night, so I understand if nobody shows up, it's quite all right. I just didn't want the content to get old, you know. That's important. I didn't want the content to get old at all. I was supposed to do this Saturday night, and apologies for not giving you an episode this past week or a Saturday night live the past weekend. Let me hit the camera real quick. But I do want you to know that I am here. I am here. I got the Cypher Sinatra hockey jersey on. Give y'all a little something different tonight, man. It's a different night, so it's a different night, and it's a different time to do different things on a different night, you know? Made in the 1980s. Please be aware of that. Made in the 1980s. That is the name of the podcast, and it does go air. It does air episodically. That means every week. I do have a episode in the tuck for this week. So you will get that as well. I just wanted to talk about some hot topics, even though it's not really what the Made in the 1980s show is about. And it's definitely not made in the 1800s as I got listed here. So I'm going to edit the title after I get off of here. But this is an official but unofficial episode, YouTube Live. So listen, there will be no video for this week's episode, but I do have one more for y'all as I talk about I think the next one is coming up is going to be aspirations and head trash. I believe that's the next episode. So you make sure you tune into that. Again, Friday mornings is when you should expect new episodes to drop. Saturday mornings is when you should expect the videos to drop. Thank you for your support. That's Bartles and James for y'all that may not know. You may not be made in 1980, so you may not know, you know. But, man, I have took the time to do my due diligence, to research one of the hotter topics going on in the world of entertainment and news and broadcasting, all that right now. So we're going to talk Shannon Sharpe and nasty chat violations. Yep, things that would make me personally leave the nasty chat. And there's a lot of that in this whole Shannon Sharpe situation, incident. I don't want to just say ordeal because we are potentially dealing with some very serious charges. However, we do got to admit two things. With a cop to two things right now on April 28th of 2025. One, he is innocent until proven guilty, you know, no matter what public opinion says. And two, there appears to be no criminal case filed yet. And I say yet because of the new information that has been revealed in regards to this topic. And that's important. That's important. I mean, before we label a person anything, we got to make sure that we know the law, at least at the surface level. And, you know, a civil suit is different from a criminal case. And we're going to get into a lot of that. But first, I do want to say, man, go see Sinners if you haven't. I will admit, I watched it. The wife and I went, and I was kind of like dumbfounded, but there were some incredible moments in the movie. And it really wasn't until I went to sleep and woke up and started thinking about the movie again. So I was like, wow, no, that was pretty good. That was pretty dope. And I'm glad a lot of the homies went to go see it over the weekend. And then we all collectively feel the same way. it was mentioned about us going to see it again. I'm actually not opposed to that. Usually I don't like going to see movies twice in the movie theater, but for this one I might make the exception. So if you have not seen it, it's pretty good. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I will say this. Everything that I heard about Get Out, so to speak, I think it should be applied to this Sinners movie as far as it just being like, groundbreaking, original, impactful, and things like that. The definite focus on race relations. I mean, listen, if you like Get Out, great. That wasn't a great movie for me. One day I'll come on here and defecate all over that movie. I saw it one time. Don't need to see it again. Y'all overhyped a lot of that. Very overrated. But salute. It is what it is. But the irony of Sinners coming out in movie theaters in the midst of everything happening with Shannon Sharpe, it's just wild. And I want to talk about some of the things that have been not only put in place, but talk about just ways to move better as Black men, because I think that's super important. Obviously, none of us are exempt from whatever, you know, um, because one of the most expensive but priceless but intangible but very detrimental commodities to the male species is the vagina, right? Nothing is more powerful, more costly, more alluring, more inviting, more detrimental to the the existence, the success, the outcome of the man. And this is just not the Black man, this is the white man, the Asian man, the Latino man. It's just men in general. Men in vagina. It's plagued us. The battle. It's like a good versus evil battle, but you can't really tell who's good and who's evil half the time. So let's just talk about just navigating better, man. Let's get into this. That's what she said. Shannon Sharpe, man. Again, like I said, he's innocent until proven guilty. So if you're looking for this live to be one that's about to condemn him or praise him, you got the wrong live. You need to go ahead and get off now. And I salute everybody that's been popping in early on a Monday night. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please stick around. This will get better. This doesn't look good. And what doesn't look good is this. First of all, right now, and I wikied his age just to be sure. I never want to make no assumptions or overstate anything. Shannon Sharpe is 56 years old. We need to understand that from the door. Shannon Sharpe is 56 years old. And not only that, Shannon Sharpe will be 57 this year. June 26th to be exact. He'll be 57 June 26th. Why does that matter? That matters because right now you have a man who is in the second half, the second wind of success in his life, right? Obviously, Hall of Fame football player, undeniable on the field, Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame tight end. I think it's either the most touchdowns, I believe. I forget. And he has been one of the very fortunate athletes to find life and success in broadcast media after the game has passed him by. He's a very fortunate guy. I think we can all agree, whether we love the coverage or not, he has the ability to be very charismatic. Shannon Sharpe is also, hey, look, he's entertaining. He's entertaining, even if he be overdoing it. He's entertaining. However, he seems to have a definite problem with wanting to interact with young women. I don't want to say girls because that makes it sound super nasty. When you say girls, now I'm thinking under 18. So I don't want to do that to them. But we do got to say young women, like very young women. And now, unfortunately, he's in a civil, he's been accused of assault, sexual assault, SA, from a woman that is, I think at this point, no older than 21 or 22 years old. No matter how you slice that, that's nasty to me. Okay. You are now like, and this is how I gauge things. And it's even worse now because I have a daughter. But here's my deal. If I can subtract your age from my age and I'm a grown ass man, like if I'm still an adult, you're way too young. Way too young. You do the mental math and look, I get it. I get it because um younger women do tend to like older men. But there's just something so wild about wanting to be with somebody 20, 25, 30 years older than you. It is wild. It's wild. And look, I'm not going to say that many men over time have not probably contemplated it because there was that one girl that worked in the office with us, or that one girl at Amazon, or the young intern, or the young lady had the summer job on the construction site. I get it. I get it because she's old enough to work. She's old enough to be here with me. So it's got to be cool, right? If you want to play that game, I guess. But would I? No, I wouldn't do that at all. I wouldn't do that at all personally. Um, and now again, as a man with a daughter now, what I do is I subtract my daughter's age from girls' ages. And if you're less than 10 years younger than her, you're absolutely too young. But but on top of that, like you at least gotta be her age apart. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you guys out there, if you're dating a woman, let's say you have a daughter that's 15 years old and you come across a young lady that's 25. The mental math for me is, okay, this girl, when I was having my first child, she was 10 years old. She was in fifth grade when I was having my first child. And nothing about that sounds appealing after you say it like that. Nothing. Nothing. Like nothing can be like, yeah, I'm still go though. No, no, I cannot relate because that's just, look at the stage of life that you're at when this person is alive and you don't know who they are, when you haven't crossed paths yet. So again, that's me. I'm looking for people to come over here and cape, but I will say, for all of you, if it's grass on the field, play ball, guys. You've been nasty since the 90s. I've never respected that. I've never respected the punani is punani. I'm trying to keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? I got a new career. I got to change up the lingo a little bit. I've never believed in that. So there are just some things that I personally don't subscribe to. And that's not making me better than anybody else. That's not making me I'm not on some pedestal because that's how I feel, because I don't expect everybody to feel how I feel. I'm just telling you how I get down personally. And I don't see the value in that. I that just And I'm not saying you can't have a relationship where you are supporting, assisting, and cultivating, but like that's youth. Like that's the youth, you know. Shannon Sharpe, I believe, has a child older than this woman that's filing these allegations against him. Again, you just gotta be just more cognizant of what you're doing and how you're doing it. That's just not a good look. So let's rewind a little bit though, because now there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle to prevent, right? So let's get the cat out the bag. So at first, everybody was like, Shannon Sharpe is gay. I don't know where that rumor came from. I don't know why. I don't know why still in the 2020s we are so obsessed with other people's sexuality. And I'll never understand why people are that are being accused are so obsessed with proving to you what they want you to believe their sexuality to be. I don't understand either side of that. But there was so many things that was going on about being said about Shannon Sharpe and how he get down in his own personal life. And at first, he took the route of, "Yo, come say it to my face, smacking niggas on sight. I'll put hands on you. I'm doing this, that, and the third. I bet you won't say that to me." Blah blah blah. Laissez-faire. Right. That was part one. So they don't stop. Then of course it's the infamous shot because he got like a replace hip. He was standing kind of like a baddie. You know what I'm saying, in the green jogger suit, fresh out the SUV. It looked wild. It looked a little crazy, but that don't really mean nothing to me. I mean, the man played football. He gave his life to football and he lost his hips in the process. It is what it is. Um, and then of course, everybody, if your clothes is a tad too tight, if you need to go one or maybe two sizes up, saying you need to stop buying the China fit, you need to get the US fit. People always assume there might be a little something up with you. I ain't gonna say something wrong. That's 80s slang. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think something wrong with him. You ain't gotta say that. He's just different. They just want to be who they want to be. That don't mean something wrong with them. Like, yo, relax. But fast forward, the infamous Instagram Live. Instagram Live, the most difficult platform to just randomly go live on. And Shannon Sharpe is on there, bestiality sounding, clapping some cheeks by a woman named Michelle. Well, I'm sorry, she wasn't clapping him, he was clapping her. I don't know. We didn't see nothing. We always saw was audio. Let me put it like that. But he was in there, yeah, I'm gonna put this, yeah, and all of that. And the lady's name was Michelle. And why that's important now is because in the midst of all of this, there's a second woman that's now accused him of SA, and her name happens to be Michelle. Let me fast forward this just a little bit, because here we are. It's the 28th now. Remember, Shannon Sharpe came out originally and was like, "Oh, this is a shakedown. They trying to extort me. They trying to do me like Diddy and Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black males, and he's trying to extort them for money." And hey, a lot of that could be true, but we're gonna explain some things that are not necessarily nuanced. You know what I'm saying? We gotta hold on here. Saw something pop up from my guy Jones. I gotta get at him after the SS conference. We gotta get to the real issue. Dislike to get out. Yeah, hey, beautiful. Hey, look, I'll speed it up. I'll speed this combo up to get right to that. We're gonna talk about that. But I'm back here, right? So Shannon Sharpe immediately put himself into the successful black man trying to be taken down by the crooked white lawyer that is targeting black successful males, right? Here's the difference, though. As more information is revealed, and honestly, we can't tell what's fact and what's fiction at this point. So, and I'm not here. This is not court TV. Okay. I'm not Cameron Cochran. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't the legal advice show. This ain't it. I'm just telling you what is on the internet and how I receive it and how it can be delivered to you as you check out my content. And thank you very much for doing so. Right? There was a $10 million settlement, Shannon. If we haven't learned from Michael Jackson, rest in peace to the legend, the greatest to ever do it. If we haven't learned anything from Michael Jackson, if you never did it, don't settle on it. Period. People gonna talk anyway. People gonna talk anyway. The 50 million sounded wild, but then what? 16 to 36 hours later, there's reports that he offered the girl 10 million to shut up. Like, yeah, yo, here the 10 piece, mild, chill. And see, that's the difference between some of these other cases and you, mister. You know? $10 million is a lot of money for something you ain't do. I'm going to say that again, just in case y'all got me confused. $10 million is a lot to offer somebody for something you didn't do. That's a lot. That's his offer. That wasn't her ask. His offer. You got to wait, hold up. You know, this ain't the Eminem bar. I'll smile in the courtroom and buy you a wardrobe. That ain't 10 million. When M said that, he was thinking maybe like 80, 100,000. Like, he wasn't talking 10 million when he said that. So I can see how you might think you and Diddy are kind of in the same boat, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. One, unfortunately, Diddy was already under fire. If you check out his last promo run about, hey, anybody that feel like owing money, come see me and we'll take care of it. That was low-key a dog whistle to me, but I didn't want to say it because, hey, man, I love Diddy. Look, I was made in the 1980s. I grew up loving 90s hip hop. I have a lot of love for Diddy, man. Sorry. And, you know, people signed NDAs and got checks. And that was Diddy trying to get in front of it. But then the Cassie video, then the Cassie lawsuit and all of that. So that's a whole different can of worms. And I'm not even going to place Shannon Sharpe's situation in that box because I think that's bigger than what we know for a lot of different reasons. But Shannon Sharpe, you can never put yourself in the same category as Jay-Z. You can't. You don't belong there. You do not belong there. The reason why you don't, because one, billionaire Jay-Z, multi-billionaire Jay-Z right now, because he has more than one. He was like, not only am I not paying, I'm not offering anything. I'm going to countersue all of you. And I'm like, he want people on the street for making accusations. And he was like, you need proof. I got time and money. I will destroy all of you. And that's the vibe. That should always be the vibe. If you were accused of something and you know you didn't do it, there's proof that you couldn't have done it, that you have no relationship with the person being named, or you're being frivolously thrown into something. That is how you handle it. And that's where you differ with Mr. Carter, Mr. Sharpe. Sorry, but not only do you know this girl, you release text threads of y'all, and we're about to get to that because that's gross. And I think that you are not aware of what a consensual relationship is versus a transactional relationship. So I'm here to help you and anybody else that may be out there, help you figure it out. Because there is a difference between a consensual relationship and a transactional relationship. But let's get into these text messages at first, all right? Let's talk about things that make me leave the nasty chat. Let's talk about nasty chat violations. Shannon Sharpe thought he was doing himself a solid when he started putting out these messages from homegirl and him on this rather randy exchange, if you will. And first of all, when it starts off with, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're hitting me. I'm trying to clean up my language. I was like, okay, we're doing some wild things. We're doing some wild things. And look, I'm not here to kink shame. You know, if you know me in real life, you know I never judge. If you know me in even realer life, well, I've never offered a dog collar of anything. I'm not down for being treated like an animal. Ain't that why we wanted slavery to be over? Like, didn't we want slavery abolished so we could stop being treated like animals? But whatever, right? And then the funniest part, though, I know you missed this big juicy butt, 25K for each cheek. So now, right there. This is a transactional relationship. This is not your girl, son. This is not your girl. Right? And you know, Shannon Sharpe wants the tape released and show the whole tape. Not 30 seconds, but the 10. So like, look, when you trying to get in front of something like that, that's nasty work, and I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, let me say this. First of all, I don't know why specifically white males started this, but the white delegation loves to use the word gravy in sexual sequences and matters. Dog, when I seen only if you put that baby gravy in me, I almost vomited all over the scene of wherever I was. I think it was my car at the time, as I was listening to just news clippings, audio. Sometimes I watch YouTube in the car. I'll be watching the road though, so don't trip. But I'm like, bro, that's like yuck, bro. Yuck. You know, let's talk about words that make you leave the nasty chat real quick. Baby gravy, man gravy, dick snot, fecal excrement, anything with anything with like messy foods. Like you want, like I'm not the whipped cream guy. I'm not that guy. I definitely wouldn't do condiments. Ugh, that's gross. I wouldn't even want to eat them on a burger, let alone like a woman. There's a lot of things where I just like, you know what? Man, maybe this ain't it. Maybe this ain't for me. You know, and alarming, but not so alarming. But this is what Dr. Umar be talking about. Put a big black baby in me. First of all, dog, you know, there's a lot going on with white women right now. A lot going on with white women right now, and not to characterize Shannon Sharpe, but I think Shannon Sharpe's in the race play. I'll let him do his thing. I'm not here to judge him, but I wouldn't be surprised if N-word D is using some of their text threads. I wouldn't be surprised if put that N-word D in me is used in the actual act of the moment. Because baby gravy is just vomit worthy, and that was on text. Imagine in the heat of the moment when the transaction is complete, what they're both saying to each other. It's kind of gross when you think about it. And I hate to have to think about it, but that's just where my mind goes. I'm a visual person. I'm imaginative. I'm curious. I'm creative. So I just go there. Let's get to these comments so we can so I can kind of like get my mind off of this. Shannon Sharpe is too old to not know how to move with groupies. Oh man, we're gonna get to that, Jones. Once the NDA wasn't signed, he should have said peace. You're right, but you know what? You know what, my brother? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Shannon Sharpe never, never typed up an NDA at all. Nor did he want one. And we're gonna talk about that next. I never in my whole history ever said baby gravy. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, listen. And salute to all the white homies out there. But that's some white people shit. It is. Baby gravy, son. Yuck. Yuck. No, I don't. No, I already don't eat regular gravy. That's totally ruined it for me this year. So there's that for me. Ugh. Yuck. I can't believe I even just said that out loud. Ugh. So, in an effort to reveal the text messages and all of that, and say he's in the process of a shakedown, Shannon Sharpe is over now reading the statement like he reading the FanDuel, like he reading the Roman swipes ads for Club Shay Shay. And that's when I won't front. I was like, okay, Shannon Sharpe ain't never did nothing to me. I don't dislike Shannon Sharpe, but this looks bad. This looks bad because if you have to read your statement from a cue card, trying to absolve you for sexual assault, then you don't get it. You don't get it, and unfortunately, you now might be guilty. But we're not here to talk about his guilt or innocence. Again, this is not court TV. This is not a court show. We're gonna move on, man. Okay. So look. So let me keep it real with y'all. And I joke with my wife about this a lot. Our new thing that we love to do, that I definitely love to do, is my new favorite pastime. I try to tell my wife how many dudes can't get more chicks than Magic Johnson. HIV Magic Johnson, though. And I was like, hey, look, Shannon Sharpe don't get no bitches. I'm sorry. He don't get chicks. I got 91 Magic fresh off of the podium at the announcement, getting more chicks than Shannon Sharpe. I got 2025 Magic, 20, 25 years or more with the HIV, with the prep out, getting more chicks than Shannon Sharpe. She'd be laughing and thinking I'm crazy, but I'll be dead serious. And I say that because Shannon Sharpe, 56-year-old man, in great shape for whoever, but no matter what your age, if you're 17, 27, 37, 47, 56, or 7, if you were in the shape, physical appearance that Shannon Sharpe is in, you are in great shape. He's NFL star, NFL Hall of Famer, elite at the game, and recognized as such. Now he is a multi-million-dollar. I don't know how real the $100 million contract was, but he's also been able to be on ESPN, First Take, Undisputed, Fox Sports. He's building his own platform, Club Shay Shay, some of the biggest interviews, some of the biggest money grabs, if you will. I don't want to diminish it like that, but he has some of the most profitable content of the last 2 years. And a lot of us are under the impression that, he has that. Women must love him. Women must really like him. And women are really throwing themselves at him. But no. And you can tell him in the way he acts with women. We overlooked a lot of that Megan Thee Stallion stuff at first, didn't we? See, I get the aspect of being entertaining. I get the aspect of finding women attractive. But boy, was he on 10,000 that day on Nightcap when he was talking about all the things he wanted to do to Megan Thee Stallion. And I think at that point, she was all of 23 or 24 years old. Now, you can say sex sells and she got her body out here and that's what she's doing. And that's what, no, but that's no. Ask your grandfather how he feels about Megan Thee Stallion or your father. And if they talking about having her legs up in the air and doing all this wildness to her, then I'm not saying I don't understand it, but that's just wild to say about a woman that you could have raised. Excuse me. There was a couple other young ladies, like under 30, that he had quite the fancy for. And again, we ignored it. It's just internet talk. It's just content, right? Everything is under the guise of content. But really, the pattern was letting us know then, hey, Shannon Sharpe is into very young women. And I know some dudes don't want to hear this. But hey, I'm willing to debate anytime y'all ready. To me, no matter what age you are, if you are trying to date women 15 years or older than you, depending on how old you are, I'll give you the cutoff of 10 years. I'll give 10 years some grace. So if you're 41 and your wife or your girlfriend is 31, I'm not tripping too hard on that. I'm not. But if you're 45 and your girl is 25, to me, that's a sign that you don't really get no bitches, bro. Sorry. And now you've hit the lowest common denominator of like, okay, every woman in my target demo thinks I'm weird, creepy, lame, gross, disgusting, or stupid, or predatory, or just gross. So now let me go to the next pool of women that have no idea what this energy is. And there could be a little bit of some of that in Shannon Sharpe. Now, granted, he grew up very poor. Some people will look at him with the white women as something like a self-hating thing. I won't go that far yet. I pray for all of us, all of our shades, all of our tones, all of our looks. I just hope that's not, we don't hate ourselves. We got to love each other. I know I have made it a point to stop saying black ass jokes, stop making fun of people who are dark skinned or darker skinned. I've been pretty good at that for at least about 5 to 10 years or so of just, even if I see it, I just don't acknowledge it, and I kind of like calm people down for doing that because I don't like that. I don't like the color struck behavior. I don't like the paper bag test mentality. I'm just not into that. No matter how fair skin or dark skin you are as a black person, you are a black person in this love, but it's a lot of this stuff is just alarming just because of the age and the money and the power that he has. But I mean, actually, we're seeing that he really doesn't have any power, because here I am thinking that Shannon Sharpe built Club Shay Shay on his own, and that was his own imprint and brand, and is actually powered by another media company, which was very interesting to me. Shannon Sharpe went from old player to dirty perv old man. But see, but Jones, I'm here to call cap on him being a player in general. I don't think that was ever the vibe now. And because old players ain't paying $25K a cheek. Let's get into that. Look, tricking is tricking. It's tricking if you got it. Tricking if you don't got it. It's tricking if you scam to get it so you can use it. But tricking is tricking. That's Bottom line, no matter how you want to slice it, the trick is a trick, and the tricks are for kids. A wild pun and irony there. Ask me about the entendre, you know. But here's the real thing that Shannon Sharpe is actually guilty of. This is what he's absolutely guilty of. He's guilty of being a man that doesn't know the difference between a consensual relationship and a transactional relationship. Because here's the deal. In the midst, in the aspect of trying to clear his name and to absolve him of what he was doing, he's telling us about how this girl is on OnlyFans and how the clip is longer than what they plan to release. So even in his mind, he know, ooh, that looks super sus. You need to watch the whole thing. So even with that, you're like, okay, what's happening? And when you lead with but it was consensual, see, here is the deal. And men, you don't want to hear this, but let Camp tell you, let Camp from the Port tell you what it really is, dog. Just like the text from Gabby said, no means no, Shannon. It really does mean no. And that is whether or not you're in the heat of the moment or if you're on the text or whatever afterwards, right? No means no. You can take it too far. You can take it too far with your girl. You can take it too far with your wife. You can take it too far with the street worker, the sex worker. You can take it too far. And consensual, to me, I define consensual as two people coming together, regardless of sexuality. Two people coming together, committing acts to and for each other with full knowledge of the potential escalation of the moment as well as the relationship. Because when you're in a relationship and you want something new from your partner, what you should be doing is having the conversation about the new thing you want from your partner, giving them the opportunity to say no, to say yes, and to potentially explore with you, depending on whatever it is. What Shannon Sharpe is in is a transactional relationship. Whereas I pay this girl, we're going to have consensual sex in his mind, which is transactional sex. And not realizing that there is a limit and a restriction even within that payment. Shannon Sharpe just can't be raw dog and buttholes just because he paying. If that's not what they signed up for, which it sounds like that's not what she signed up for. She wanted baby gravy. Yuck, right? She wanted the opportunity to have a big black baby put in her. So cream pies on deck. Anal play not on deck. And you didn't pay. You didn't pay. So here's the deal. Much like I've heard on different like stories and different environments of like just people like within lifestyle. Like you be on Sirius XM and like I remember one time a guy was on there. He was on the All Out show talking about how he likes to get kicked in the nuts and get his nuts stomped on. And dating was difficult for him because he couldn't find women that was willing to do that until he met this girl that was willing to do it. Didn't quite understand it, but was kind of into it. And he made her his wife, right? So now the flip side of that is sometimes women into BDSM want to be whipped or hit or whatever. And a lot of it gets consensual, but then sometimes guys get too carried away, hit the girl too hard, hit them where they don't want to be hit, and now it's muddy. It's unclear. Yes, she was down for X, but not X plus MB squared, bro. So you have to know your range. Fellas, here's a pro tip. Anytime you're paying, you don't have all access. Sorry. It's just like any other transaction. Hey, look, you go to the restaurant. I don't know what restaurant you like, but let's just say Chili's, right? You go to Chili's, you get the triple play, get a drink, and you eat that and you enjoy that, right? You don't get to walk to the kitchen, grab some more boneless wings because you've already paid for what you received. You don't get extra. You don't get to do more. There's not an extra rite of passage for you. You don't get special treatment, bro. It was $10.99 plus tax and tip. Always tip. You a sucker if you don't tip. That's all you are entitled to for your payment, sir. And this sounds like that. This really sounds like Shannon Sharpe was just like, yo, I mean, look, I want to turn it all the way up. I'm gonna put this out. And it's just like, no, bro, you can't do that. You just can't do that. You cannot do that. If you are paying for vaginal sex, it cannot go in her butt. Sorry. Spoiler alert. All of you that think because you give a girl money, you can do anything to her. That's wrong. That's just is literally just wrong. You should never think like that. Name one place in the world where you can give somebody money and then you can do absolutely whatever you want. Burger King tells you to have it your way. That's their slogan. And you still can't do whatever you want because you give them money. All you can decide is if you want pickles or not. That's what you can do. So that's what that is to me. But prayers to Shannon Sharpe, best of blessings to him. But it really does sound like he needs to take Monique's advice. I'm not even going to say an old woman or like a woman his age. Look, if he want to date somebody 40 plus or whatever, even 30s, whatever, date whoever you want to date at this point, right? But build a lasting relationship with somebody that's into what you're into. Also, that's very important. Or set up the clearance to be like, hey, look, I want this, and this. This is a contract saying that you're going to do this, and this. If you need to, I'll pay you this and however many installments or one lump sum, whatever it is, and go in there and handle your business. But the problem, Mr. Sharpe, that you are running into is that you thinking that these transactional relationships are 100% consensual relationships, and this ain't that, bro. And unfortunately, you're going to get caught in the gray area of thinking, I got money, I paid the girl, so I can do whatever I want to the girl. And you're going to lose that battle every time. You're going to lose it every single time because that's just not how life, the world, and women go. You can't do that. Sorry. I feel that way if I didn't have a daughter. I feel that way if I wasn't raised by women. I feel that way without a wife. You just can't do that. It's not. This is not me taking the. I'm not grandstanding because I love women so much. But I mean, I do. I love and respect women. But that's just reality. Good touch, bad touch, bro. I know if I seen the VHS video, I know you seen it. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's crazy. Yeah, I'm done. Unless y'all got something else to say about that, I'm done. Um, Want to get back. Made in the 1980s, man. I appreciate y'all checking me out tonight, man. It's a Monday night, man. We getting out of here. But we're not getting out of here without talking to Jones. Hey, listen. Shannon Sharpe convo officially done. We're gonna talk about Get Out and how y'all played yourself. Well, no, y'all played me. Y'all didn't play yourself. Y'all played me for making it seem like that movie was so amazing. It wasn't garbage, but it wasn't fire though. That was not fire. What up? What up? What up? I see Cloak the Scribe has just checked in. What's up with you, sir? So Jones, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I watched Get Out for the first time Saturday. Now I watched it after watching Sinners. So that is the caveat. First of all, Sinners is a way better movie than Get Out. Way better. It's leaps and bounds. Coogler over Peele. It ain't even close. Not even close. Hey, not a hot take. Don't like it either. We about to talk about it. So here's the thing. And Jones, feel free to tell me what you thought the movie was about. But Get Out was posed to me as this horror film that alerts you of the dangers of dating and being in love with white women, right? You know, all of a sudden this movie comes out. Now everybody in the interracial relationship is in the sunken place. And I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? I was like, what does that mean? Right? Then y'all was overdoing it. Kanye is so far in the sunken place, he can never get out. And I was just like, all right. Like, and I still didn't watch it. I still didn't watch it. I was like, because listen, y'all used Get Out like you used the word petty, like you used the word ratchet originally, because a ratchet was a tool. And I was like, do y'all mean wretched? Because that's old English. But a ratchet, you can fix a car with a ratchet. Right? But petty means little to no significance. Y'all took petty and made it seem like, and turned it into spiteful, and turned it into revenge, and turned it into get back. Like that's what y'all call petty. So this is all in the wave, and then here comes Get Out, and then now all y'all telling me that this movie is to warn you about the dangers of being madly in love with white women. And so I watched this movie. Check it out, man. The dangers are real, but it's not everybody's plight, which is wild. Yes, that's true too. But here's the deal, though. Based on how the movie was presented to me, I'm expecting homie that's the lead in the movie to be just like over the top in love, like the beginning of Don't Save or Project Pat and Crunchy Black. You know what I'm saying, man? I just got off of work and I saw this dude having my man. But I'm gonna kill him when he get off of work tonight, though. Like I literally thought I was gonna see like something like that. Like people were like, yo, like keep bugging out, like all this sunken place stuff because like Kanye was obviously madly in love. Like he's in worship level probably for Kim Kardashian. There was a little bit of worship there, right? And because that part of that was his kink or whatever. But when I see this movie and it opens up and he's just another black guy with another white girl that's meeting their parents for the first time and he has apprehensions, I'm like, okay, what's so odd about this? We know this story. What's so odd about this guy dating this girl and going to see their parents that has this so about the sunken place, right? So fast forward, I get through the movie. Yeah, people mad weird. And this is where all my discrepancies started. because shout out to homegirl for playing the role basically with the cops or whatever. But first of all, my man gets to the white people house and he ain't doing nothing that normal black people do. He should have been left. This movie should have been 37 minutes long. Because the minute we sitting down and her brother come out there bugging out like that, yo, I'm out, bro. Why? Because I'm gonna kill your brother. What are you doing? Never touch me. Like who are you talking to? Like I will kill him. So I'm gonna leave. So first of all, I wouldn't even made it through the night. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm out. That's 1 through 5. Number 6 was the next day. As he's and then look, hey, number 6, really seeing all those black people around and be thinking like, yo, hey, why are all these black people acting like this around here? Like, you're just not gonna ask the question? Dude, he seemed more scared than madly in love. I don't even get how y'all flipped this sunken place idea to what it was. Let me see. Yeah, the apprehension. Yes. Yeah, the apprehension do happen. It was normal till Ish went left. Yeah, hey, listen. Yeah, hey, listen. You could be like, okay, well, that was a little wild. That was a little crazy, but you know what? I'm chilling. But that's different. Hey, listen. I've been over white people's house before, and like a random cat run out. I'm like, oh shit, yo. They were, oh my God, Cam, it was scary. I was like, yeah. I was like, look, I wasn't expecting your animal to be out and running all over the place. But it's cool. I ain't tripping. But I vocalize. They put the animal up. We're having a great time. That's it. Let me see. Joe says that's because Cam is aggressive. Chris was a little passive and nervous when meeting her family. Hey, and that's cool if you want to be passive and nervous. But by the time her brother gets out there, dog, no. I'm laying him down. Don't that was disrespect. Night 1. That was disrespect. I don't like the way her pops are talking to me. Hey, listen. I've been at the age, but look, hey, after 25, no, not even after 25. Since I've been a grown man, since I've regularly been a grown man, which means that I was paying my rent with my own money and I stopped asking my mom for money, I stopped being scared or I stopped being nervous around other men, older men. We're not doing that. I pay rent just like you, my brother. Treat me with respect. So, with that being said, dog, I ain't looking at no man as the big bad wolf. I'm not out here nervous and timid walking around your house. No, you invited me here, so it should be respected all times. And if it's not, we'll get it cracking. Like we'll get it shaken, or I'll just leave. And I'll opt to leave first because I don't know where your knives and guns are in your house. I ain't trying to get murdered. But you can't just do and say anything to me. And then, okay, so fast forward, right? Oh, let me check this comment out first. Okay, he put him in the hold on, he put him in the they white folks category, and they different, so he ain't know how to move. His first serious white woman, maybe. Yeah, but look, but see, even what you just said, Jones. I mean, he ain't the man of the house, bro. He ain't the man of the house. Because I don't care. Hey, you can be as different as you want. Just some things you can't do and say around me that won't get questioned, won't get checked, won't get corrected, won't get altered. Like dog, they was getting it off from the moment he walked in the door, from the comments to the descriptions of things and to the just asking him about his body. Like, yo, come on, fam. What are we talking about? I was like, yo, man, what? Huh? Who are you talking to like this? Nah. Hey, I don't care if those were the first white people he ever met in his life. That was wild. That was wild. And here's my issue with the sunken place themes altogether. Because the mother knew hypnosis and she did that to him. Not the girlfriend, but the mom. He wasn't trying to hit the mom, although I do think the mom was better than the daughter on there, but that's a different story, right? But the sunken place was hypnosis in an effort to abduct and dissect him, not because he worshiped white women. What were y'all watching for you to think the sunken place was anything but that? They were trying to kill him and use his eyes to give it to some white guy that I believe was in a wheelchair. What does it have to do with loving white women? What does it have to do with interracial dating? Other than that was the trap. Other than that being the trap, what does that have to do with it? I'm dying for answers. And that's why the movie ain't what y'all said it was. That's why it's overrated. This was not no horror flick about the dangers, solely about the dangers of black men loving white women too much. And that's how y'all presented this on social media at the time. You know, not kill him, make him a backseat driver in his own. Okay, boom. Okay, bet. So now, Jones, let me concede to what you're saying. It wasn't to kill him, but make him a backseat driver in his own body and mind, right? Why the sunken place is strictly regulated to black men wanting to be with white women. Just explain that piece. Because I don't think that has anything to do with it. True, the dude when they called Lakeith Stansfield character, they just kidnapped him. Wouldn't even know date. They just took him. This was like, truthfully, this was more like Dahmer than it was like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Of the video. You know what I'm saying? The white girl was Chris's trap, right? I'll give you that. However, did it seem like he was, I love her, man. I'm about to marry her, man. Was he doing that in the movie? No. He was definitely the trap. But hey, look. I think that's just a byproduct. And that's not me caping. That's not me caping. Because it's like, hey, look, hey, listen. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, hey, listen, I can tell you, I went to school with some white girls who I thought were extremely attractive. And a couple of them in my lifetime told me, we can't date you. I can't take you to my house. And you got to eat that. And I never tried to fight that because I never wanted to be strung from some tree in Freeport or, just experience racism at that extreme level. I just never wanted to do that. So I was like, you know what, you got it. I'm out. We're not even going to do that. You know what I'm saying? The white liberal family is set up to appear like good white folks. Okay. And see, and that's fair, right? That is fair. I'm not mad at that. But the over exaggeration and the overstating of the sunken place in the movie Get Out and who Chris's character was portrayed to be versus what I actually saw with my own 2 eyes, it just didn't match up. It did not match up in any way. Now, hey, and to be clear, I don't think I mean, I get it, the aspect of Sinners. I get where people are going with that, but that has more value to to what y'all trying to uphold than Get Out does. I will say it is ironic, it's funny, it's clever that we are having a lot of movies come out, historical pieces, historical place and pieces, original stories, horror movies, whatever, what have you. And it is centering around white women taking black men down. I will say it is funny. It's funny because I want to see how this changes things. We got too many white or other women saying the N word anyway, right? But that's black men's fault. I'm blaming black men for that. Um, but I'm curious to see where interracial dating goes now that we have now a handful of stories, fictional or not, that are highlighting white women being the downfall of black men. I want to see where this goes historically. That's all. I don't have an opinion. Shout out to all my white homegirls. You know, I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got. But yeah, Get Out week, bro. Go watch Sinners. Sinners was fire though. Sinners was fire, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. To be honest, I'll definitely be watching it if it comes out on uh well, I was gonna say DVD like a dinosaur. Whenever it releases, whenever it's out on theaters, like yeah, I wouldn't mind owning that movie. That was a good movie. It's definitely black dude's fault. That white snatch be calling them. Yeah, hey, for real. Hey, listen, I don't I've never been on that bandwagon of let my white girl say the N-word. Not in raps, not in conversation with just me, not during intercourse. Like we just no, just don't. Just don't. Matter of fact, be the reason why I stopped saying it versus being the reason why you should say it, you know? And I want to be crystal clear because I got some homies that got some white wives or white girlfriends and biracial children. I never want to hear your significant other saying the N word. I will stop coming around if I ever hear that. Sorry. Sorry. Not doing it. I don't play the A versus the ER. I don't play the no, but a nigger is really this. I don't play none of that. Just stop it. No. I don't respect any black dude. If that's any black man that's trying to teach a white woman that you're trash. You're trash. And you don't get it. And I'll stand on that. So be clear. That ain't the way to prove that you cool. That ain't to prove that you down. None of that. No. No. Buy them candy bars from the basketball team and the football team. You know. Uh buy go to the black school and buy tuxes for prom or something. Do something else to prove that you down. Because we are don't ever do that. I don't care who it is. I don't care if I've known you for 30 years. If you and your white girl are saying the N word in unison around me, it will be the last conversation we ever have in life. Don't ever do that shit in front of me. I am dead ass. Sorry for cussing. Man, had to check a white dude last summer for thinking he was too cool and could say it. I'm not racist, bro. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, listen. I that the two excuses because I watched the Drewski reunion show last night, which was oh my god, why, right? But I love Drewski. He's hilarious. It ain't that, and I want to be crystal clear. I'm not saying I'm not just going to jump out the window and say that you racist just because you say the N word, right? Because let's say you're not, but you obviously don't know where you at. You obviously don't know where you at talking like that around here. You dig? I don't like the oh well, my stepdad is black, my stepmama black. I grew up with all black people. Okay, cool. So did I. So did I. You know, hey, you know what? I grew up with a lot of white people. I don't be saying cracker. I don't be saying honky. I don't be saying trailer trash. I don't be saying white trash. I don't say none of that. I don't say none of that because them are my words to use. I hear women calling other women bitches left and right. Never call them that as a way of conversation or as a greeting or as a reaction. I don't say it to them. So why? So now why do you think you get the pass? First of all, there is no pass. First of all, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. There is no pass. It's a myth. It's a myth. Just like the cookout invite. It's a myth. It don't exist. No, you don't have one. You can't get one. We don't have one. Sorry. That's it. But yeah, that's yeah, man. Hey, listen, hey, and look, hey, and for all the white counterparts, male and female, you can still be cool. Just watch your mouth. You know, it's no different. You know what? If you wouldn't say it in front of Minister Farrakhan, if you wouldn't say it in front of Dr. Umar, if you wouldn't say it in front of Mike Tyson, don't say it to me. How about that? Don't say it around me. The bar is if you think a black person that you never knew or that you don't know or that you know of that don't know you, if you think that that black person would slap the shit out of you for saying it, don't say it. That'd be your best bet. So that's that. Great conversation. Oh man. Yes, hey, brothers, keep your white girls in check. Keep their mouths in check. Sorry. Again, I hear the N-word coming out one of y'all white girls' mouths. We never talking again. I want to be crystal clear on that. That is not a game. This is not content. This is not content. If your white girl says the N-word around me, we are done. We are done because you don't get it. Oh man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Made in 1980s. This is a live show version, so this audio will go out on Friday on all of the audio podcast platforms, you know, and I do have another episode in the tuck for y'all. So please check that out. And we will talk soon. Again, this is Made in the 1980s, and know that always and consensually. It's love.